Aloha, y'all. I'm just trying to pull up something real quick on my phone. It is Tuesday, the 6th of October, ruled by Tyr, Tyr's Day, Tuesday. Tyr is essentially the Mars equivalent in Nordic mythology. We get a lot of our days of the week named after Norse deities. Wednesday is Woden, I think, even though it's ruled by Mercury. It's like Odin Day, Friday, Freya, Thursday, etc., right? So today is Tuesday, the 6th. According to Dream Spell, this is going to be a third eye day. Blue solar monkey guided by accomplishment, getting it done. And with it being a Mars, Tears day, like we can actually do some cool shit. So, this is your ajna, your third eye. It's a third eye day. Tap into the mudras, the mantras, the magic that is chakra chanting. Take it seriously, and you will have results. I guarantee. So let's see what we can get for cards on this Tears Day. Just realizing something. All right, whatevs. Some of these cards are whatever. I didn't put away my cards from last night, or yesterday rather, so derp. The sun is in Libra, the moon is in Gemini. That's where my natal moon is. So today, very airy day. Mercury's in Scorpio, Venus is in Virgo, Mars is in retrograde still in Aries. So what can we get for this Tuesday? Hopefully y'all are doing well out yonder. We've got the Queen of Cups. Interesting card. So queens are the highest feminine articulation, and cups are about emotion, sexuality, creativity, stuff like that. So the Queen of Cups, I am a conduit for powerful love. The Queen of Cups is the watery, the emotional part of what water? And it's not just emotions, it's like the powerful, creative, sexual, alchemical part of water. Oh, it's hard to kind of open this book up. Here we go. This is about being open to sensuality, being a seeker of desires and potent pleasures, rich empathy, creative, and understanding. With Mercury and Scorpio, we might be thinking about getting fucked up or fucking around or whatever. Sensuality, right? It might be on our minds, Mercury. And with it being a Tuesday, Tears Day, and it being a third eye day, it's like we might have some interesting fantasy life going on right now. With Libra Sun, we might, fantasy, work and play. Like, how do we balance that? But also with the Gemini Moon, it's playful, right? And that can be very sensual, potentially. Queen of Cups, I'm a conduit for powerful love. Sensual, dynamic healer, intuitive, sexual, and otherworldly, the Queen of Cups demonstrates your gift of emotional intelligence, a rich empathy, creativity, and understanding. Creating this card was a truly joyful experience. This archetype resounded so richly in my mind, symbolizing the possibility of life brimming with a magical energy. Moon and Gemini. Oh, everything is awesome. Everything's a possibility, right? And with the Sun in Libra, we have the ability to see the beauty in all things, even weird things. Mercury and Scorpio. We have simply forgotten how to see and experience it. I wanted to bring out the animistic nature of this Queen card. Animism comes from the Latin word anima, or breath, spirit, or soul. This belief system holds that objects, places, and creatures possess a distinct spiritual essence. Even words can be infused with spirit. We see the old broken television in the card releasing a spirit into the waiting cup as an ibis woman reaches for it in reverence. This refers to the Egyptian belief where birds had a special magical power. Flight. That is some Gemini Moon shit. Flightiness, right? The possible source of our image of winged spirits and angels. The entire environment of this card is vibrantly alive and interactive. Sticks become Alberto Giacometti beings, busying themselves around the Queen. An idea replicated in the children's stories such as Pinocchio, where the wooden puppet eventually turns into a fully fledged human boy. Again and again, we see life, consciousness itself, emanating from mere wood or metal, little glass girls in fairy tales, toys coming to life when adults leave the room, like Toy Story. In this context, with the Indian in the cupboard even, in this context, we can fully accept the life in normally inanimate objects, animistic principles alive and well. Yet we forget, I mean, and that's very, Gemini moon is like the playful kind of childlike wonder of the spirit in things, and Libra sun is like, hey, like when the adults leave the room, the kids come out to play. When the mice is away, the cat plays. Or when the cat's away, the mice play. So when reason leaves the building, fantasy can come in, and that can be very sensual and creative. Uh, Yet we forget that the chair we sit on is made of the same energy, quote and unquote, as us. All life springs from the same source and is animated by the same energy. Animism is a theme which draws me throughout this tarot deck. The idea of ordinary things becoming conduits of the miraculous plays out strongly in this card, the extraordinary in the ordinary. We are all, in fact, miraculous forms of technology, spirit technology. The fact that as yet science still has no idea of why we possess consciousness tells us that life is so much more mysterious than we possibly can imagine. To connect with the wonder of your own existence is the path back home. Let me repeat that, because this is some Gemini moon shit, like wonder. Wow, oodalali. To connect with the wonder of your own existence, the magic of life itself, is the path back home. The Queen of Cups is therefore concerned with matters of the heart. It signals acceptance and rich empathy and understanding of the things of nature. In the nature of things. To feel your inherent empathy with your fellow creatures, to be emotionally intelligent, and to feel empathy with others. That's the Sun in Libra, right? To be emotionally intelligent, Gemini moon, and fully expressed, unashamed of what your imagination is capable of conjuring, Mercury in Scorpio. Like where it doesn't matter if it's taboo. Let's think it. There is much to be gained from listening deeply within, giving credence to the dreaming world, and being a bridge between the two. Bridge between the what? The dream and the reality, quote unquote, these false arbitrations that we've given it. Very Libra Sun. So, the Queen of Cups is the card. Let's keep pulling cards. You might hear construction. My parents are having stones encased, river stones encased all over our chimney. So, I kind of vaguely hear it with earbuds in, so I'm sure you might hear it. It's funny because these, I don't know if they're Mexican or South American, Central American, but these Latino men have been coming and doing this work, and they're bumping like I mean, I guess it's culturally rich to them, it's creative to them, but it reminds me a lot of Ecuador, where it's just like really weirdly culturally cliche Latin music in the sense of like do 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 do, or like it sounds just, it's interesting to wake up to that. So we've got the 8 of, I believe that's air. So let me just check. Oh, where's the index? Come on now. No, it's not air, it's water. All right, so, and I knew that anyway. So the 8 of water, 283. 283. The 8 of water. We got 2 water cards today, so still water's running deep. 8 of water. Keywords: gratitude, appreciation, delight, joyfulness, happiness, positivity, pride, and harmony. It's like this boss-ass chick who's like, oh, I love life and life loves me and I'm going to drink to the full. Very much emphasized yet again in the 8 of water. Key phrases: a positive state of appreciation, the attitude of gratitude, creating a positive environment. Here, let me do something really quick because I feel like, well, maybe not. Maybe I just made it worse. That might help. I don't know. The contrast on these cameras is ridiculous. The attitude of gratitude, creating a positive environment, being prideful but not boastful, cherishing what you have now. If you are already unhappy, more will not make you happier. So knowing limits, right? Don't just get drunk or high or just fuck to fuck. It's like, know your limits, but that doesn't mean avoid sensuality. Focus on all that is good in your life and question an unnecessary desire for more. With it being a Tuesday, Tears Day, Mars ruled day, we might just be compelled and obsessed, Mercury and Scorpio, to think Ajna Day about things we don't have, about pleasures, we want more of, etc., etc. The 8 of water symbolizes how a positive state of appreciation and gratitude can influence our lives and environment for the better. When you make a conscious choice to take pride in all that you do and appreciate all that you have, you open yourself to more good vibrations and more reasons to be happy. Open yourself. Notice her leg position. Open to what? Life. It is important to approach life with delight and joy. Queen of Cups, sensuality, pleasure, creativity, right? To take time to laugh at life and at yourself. That's important. If you don't laugh at yourself, you'll become a stodgy person, and it's not good. It might be unrealistic to hope to be happy all the time. That would be the shadow of the Queen of Cups. She's like, if I don't have a flask in my hand and I'm not like getting off or buzzed, like I don't want to do it. It's like, well, sometimes we have to be sober. Libra, sun, balanced. Um, it might be unrealistic to hope to be happy all the time or always maintain a buzz or always be in the positive. Like sometimes businesses lose money, etc., right? But taking the time to appreciate the people, the beauty, and the abundance in our lives, we create moments when our happiness is deeper and more enduring. We create ease. By choosing to focus on all that is good in our lives, we will create a positive emotional two-way energy flow that, like water, finds its way into every crack where it washes away cynicism, criticism, confusion, conflict, and anything else that may be weighing us down. Genuine appreciation lightens and uplifts the spirit, whilst expressing our gratitude is a powerful means of asking for the source of appreciation to continue, whilst giving back energetically at the same time. Sun and Libra, it's a two-way street of energy. What? Water, emotional energy, right? When we're grateful, more opportunities come. And guess what? Our reality that we have as it stands, no matter whether it improves or degrades, is awesome. We appreciate it. I mean, that's the whole point of appreciation, gratitude. When the Eight of Water appears in your reading, he symbolizes the importance of expressing gratitude and appreciation. And I just want to say, shout out to my Haley, my bae, my queen, Reptilian Commander Queen up in the house. I love her so much, and I'm very appreciative of her, just for the record. And everybody knows this, but I just want to say it. I'll say it till the day I die. We all have good in our lives. Cherish it in the here and now, right? So we have things that we can participate in that make us feel good. Like this is, you can have, I mean, I always use substances because clearly I'm coming from like a party boy lifestyle for like over a decade. But it's like you can have a shot and go play pool with your friends at the bar or whatever. You can, puff a doobie and listen to Dark Side of the Moon with your eyes closed and see where it takes you. Like you can, minus substances, you can, I mean, I guess sexuality is a substance. You can masturbate, you can have sex, you can make out. Queen of Cups is like, let's do some stuff. Let's fuck around, right? And with Mars, it being a Mars day, the Sun in Libra and the Moon in Gemini, playful as fuck and willing to kind of test the waters on everything, hopefully in a balanced way, you can use responsibly your sexuality, your power, your creativity, your libido, your substance intake, whatever. And there are ways, if you're totally a sober, whether it's sober October and it's a month thing for you, or you're totally straight edge or whatever, holotropic breathing, masturbation, listening to good music on exercising, right? There's things that can raise our vibes, and we should be grateful for all the things that we can sense. Sensuality. We are sensual beings. We have a mind, third eye day, so we can be wise about it, and that's kind of an apprehension of the Tao. But being embodied is beautiful, and being grateful for being embodied is what we're being called to do. See all of his chakras? He's an embodied being, and his third eye is popping. He's got his crown, like chakra, kind of doing a weird symbol there, but like the point is around his third eye, like a band. There it is. He's got the wisdom to see the gratitude is what makes things expand, like her background, this bifurcating kind of sacred geometry. All right? She's open to life. Her legs are literally open. She's saying, love me, say that you love me. She loves life. So that's all good. So let's keep going with a Galactic Heritage card. I'm always curious where people are watching from, so feel free to comment. Tell me how your October is thus far. It's been kind of chilly in the mornings, but it gets hotter, and it's right at that precipice. Like some days, like the other day, it was 30 degrees when I woke up. That ain't hot. Today it's supposed to get up to the 70s. That's nice, and it's sunny, so it feels good. But when it's cloudy, man, and up in high country Colorado, in Buena Vista, it feels like, and I think it's Buena Vista, as the locals would say, but I don't give a shit. It's getting cold. Homesickness. I'm talking about where I live, home, my home having repair. This is interesting. Vega past timeline 22, which is actually a gene key my fiance has. I'm a 55, and she's got not for my life purpose or whatever, but she has 22 and I have 55. She has 59. I digress. If you know gene keys, you kind of know the jargon I'm spitting. Vega 22, homesickness, past timeline. The early Vegan mystics retained clear memory of the source from which they fragmented. This would be, even in this image, the source from which they fragmented. See, it's a unity, and then it bifurcates into this crazy, like, geometry, right? But as aeons passed, the memory faded and was replaced by profound yet vague feelings of homesickness. That can be the watery emotionality, right? We might have Moon and Gemini imaginations of our place in the world, but we don't feel there. Libra Sun, it's like I'm here but not there, right? Where is there? In Source. And in a sense, we're always connected to Source, but we're not in it the same way we used to be. That was home. We were in utero in a sense, and now we're birthed, and it's like, oh my gosh, I miss the comforts of the amniotic fluid of consciousness, or whatever you want to call that. One reason why they were so devoted to their spiritual practices was to recapture that feeling of being connected to the source. Feelings. Eight of Water. Queen of Cups. Feelings. How do we connect to things? Feelings of gratitude, feelings of remembrance, feelings of connection, and you could connect to your neurons through sensuality, right? With the Sun in Libra, it's about beauty and respecting your body and your mind, your meat suit as well as your spirit, which may not even be differentiated at some level. Even though they understood the reasons for physical existence, here's the physical versus spiritual, there was an underlying desire to return home. If you have this feeling, know that it is an ancient one. It requires you to embrace physical reality as it is before you can return home. This is an important lesson, i.e., be grateful. You've embarked. Eight of Water, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, this is weird. I have chakras, and I guess I'm a human, and this is like, I've got hair, and I've got a body and hands, and oh my gosh, I can walk. I can spread my legs. I can be a boss, right? I'm human. I could get a buzz. I can get drunk and throw up. I can get high. I can have a hangover and become addicted. All these things. I can have sex and then I can, become a nympho. Or you can see my point. I'm trying to show like things exist, but then we can get out of balance. Be grateful for them. Like we've chosen to embark on this journey, and we might feel homesick, but then remembering. I mean, it depends on presuppositions, but it's like we never left home in a sense. The physical illusion of duality and reality as we stand in the 3D is but a dream of the divine, right? Very Queen of Cups. It's like, and Gemini Moon, it's the Brahma is thinking this, if you want to put it that way. I mean, there's a lot of models for this, even Christian ones. Jonathan Edwards was a Christian who thought we were machinations in the mind of God, right? So we've never really left home. We've just left home in a certain way, just like when mommy has a baby or whatever, when the mother has a child, it's left its relationship in a way, but they aren't unrelated. They're still related. It's just not one in that sense, like inside of it. So many people on Earth today have a feeling of homesickness, as if Earth isn't home and their true home is somewhere else. That's a shadow of kind of New Age starseed stuff. So we're like, I'm a Pleiadian and I want to go back. It's like, bitch, you're here. Be here now. Own it. You've chosen to be embodied. Be grateful for all the ins and outs of embodiment. Maybe you have connections to other places and dimensions and times and all that stuff. A-okay with me. I'm down with that. I've got that myself. But the point is, you can't pine for that which is not present. That would be the shadow of Gemini Moon, where it's like, are you just fantasizing? Are you just like imagining things and living in that imagination and not being present fully? Don't just be homesick, right? But it's normal. So don't, if you want to be somewhere else, the grass is always greener. Oh my gosh, I was home. While it is easier to believe that this home is another star system with a better society, the underlying homesickness is much deeper than that. So that's even not a full vision. I mean, being like, oh man, the vegans, they had it right, and we're humans are so stupid. Like that's even, or even Garden of Eden or Atlantis or whatever the fuck. It's like, cool, that happened and it happened at a level, and amen that it happened. Be grateful that those things occur, but be willing to explore your present moment more fully as an embodied being. Don't just dwell on the homesickness, though this is acceptable in terms of emotions because it happens, right? There's something more deep, profound belonging underneath this, right? It is the longing for belonging and unity, a reflection of our true state of existence as one unified being in creation looking through an infinite number of eyes. We just have to remember that. As humans, it can be hard to remember this true unified state, which exists simultaneously within the illusion of separation, while seeing all the hate and confusion on Earth at this time. It's a divisive time, and we've got to rise above that, and that's how the peace comes. If you just pick your political party or your gender and say, we boys rule and girls drool, or whatever your trip is, it's like you're never going to get back home. We're walking each other home, so don't fret, like even in your obstinance and for whatever. We're going to come back into the creative unity of it all. We're going to get back to source, right? Feminine source. That's why it's shifting to an age of femininity. The patriarchy is kind of ending, and it's going back to not a matriarchy, but like a integrated level, right? We could be grateful for all this. What a weird trip. And to remember that we're one. Trying to heal the feeling of homesickness by going somewhere else or living a different life is only a temporary fix. I'm guilty of this. I have a Gemini moon. The moon is in Gemini. We could fantasize that, oh, if I just go live in a tiny home and grow my own food and I don't live in a city anymore, I'll be happy. It's like maybe for a little while, but are you bringing your baggage there? Have you done your shadow work? You know, maybe you'll be like, oh man, if I just go to Las Vegas and get drunk and fuck and I never think about things again, it's like, great, you'll have a little fun. Queen of Cups, right? Like that'll be interesting and fun, but like, are you going to be all out of alignment, your chakras and stuff? Are you going to be so chemically altered and off in terms of your circadian rhythms and stuff, your biochemistry, that you're not able to be in a grateful mood? You get depressed. I mean, that's one of the less talked about and obvious to addicts side effects of use of anything. It's like it dulls. It both enhances Libra Sun. It enhances some things and it dulls others. If you habitually drink, it's a depressant. It will make you depressed, even though and then you'll find your joy in the cup, right? Which is the Queen of Cups. So, got to be careful there. Bottom line, trying to heal the feeling of homesickness by going somewhere else, projecting into vacations, which are fine and good, projecting into ayahuasca retreats where I'll find the answer, projecting into a marriage where it's like, this is the one and I'll be fully happy. You are bringing you where you are into that situation, so you are where you go, right? Going somewhere else or living a different life is only a temporary fix. It never truly fills the emptiness. The only true home is inside of us, for that is where the source of all creation lies. It's the God-shaped hole in your heart in terms of Christianity, right? It's the divine image, the Buddha nature. The only true home is inside of us, for that is where the source of all creation lies. If you have these feelings in your life, it is strongly suggested you begin practicing silent meditation, where you can reconnect with this sacred source inside of you. Only then can you feel at home wherever you are. Where you are, you will be. And there's better and worse ways to operate in that reality, right? Because we're embodied sensual beings, and it's okay to play with all the toys. In a sense, Gemini Moon, it's like, ooh, I want to try licorice. Ooh, I want to try black cherry. Ooh, I want to try... I hate licorice, by the way. Vanilla, that's my bae. I want to try all these flavors. But then it's like, but do you remember what, like, strawberries naturally taste like, or grape naturally tastes like? Artificial grape flavor tastes nothing like real grapes, and in some way I've been programmed to think artificial grape is so much better. It's very, very sweet, right? But like, and it's okay to have a sensual thing. Be grateful we have artificial flavors, I guess, at some level, but it's like not the real deal. We have to come back home and not just be distracted by things that like titillate, basically. It's okay ultimately. I'm sounding very paradoxical. It's all good, so you don't have to beat yourself up or anything like that, but the point is, don't get distracted. The map is not the territory, right? So don't think going to Disney World is going to solve all your fucking problems. It might give you a boost in serotonin, or making something on Facebook and getting a bunch of likes, or Instagram, or whatever the fuck. It's like cool, but like, are you actually happy with yourself? So we've got the fruit bat, the flying flux, kindness, and this seems like a very watery thing. Kindness, the friendliness of emotions. Like friendship, essentially third house, Gemini, right? Friends, playmates. And the friendliness of home that we miss. We're like, I miss mom, I miss home, right? Well, we're here now, and let's have fun and be friendly with each other. Maybe not too friendly. She's like, hey, baby. Gotta be careful, right? Kindness, though, very watery, very heartfelt, soulful kindness. Kindness is not an intellectual thing. It's a heart and emotional thing. You can be kind in your thoughts, I guess, but you see my point. You like, logic is devoid of kindness. It can just be less or more profitable and like differently. Like, egalitarian is a logical way, but I'm rambling. I don't even need to get to the whole philosophy of this dimension. Fruit bat, flying fox, kindness. Choose kindness, which isn't always the easy way. Kindness will always be repaid. Libra Sun. You're always going to get what you give. If you give kindness, guess what? If you give emotional honesty, guess what? It'll come back to you. If you're and this can be the shadow of Moon and Gemini and Scorpio Mercury. If you keep secrets, if you have alternate identities and a secret life, right, where it's like, oh, I go to work all day and then at night I'm a dominatrix or whatever. It's like, make sure people know that, because that might haunt you at some point. So kindness will always be repaid if you get what you give, right? Consider others in your decisions, Libra Sun, especially those with less power than you. That would be empathy. That is the Queen of Cups, the watery part of water, somebody being in their feels for others and saying, oh, wow, that person has as much value as I do, and I'm grateful for my position, and out of gratitude and understanding of the whole situation, the unity that we've forgotten as the homesickness, I will uplift the poor. I will donate to the poor, donate my time, Mother Teresa stuff. says especially those with less power than you. Repay your debts. Spread the seeds of goodwill, and your fortunes will grow. Mythos. Princess Laotogi was royalty from the Samoan Islands. She was sent to Tonga to become the second wife of the king of Samoa at the time. This was not a love match, as she was sent as part of a peace treaty through marriage between the kingdoms. Talk about homesickness. She was having to get kicked out of home because she was basically chattel to be bartered with, right? In some sense. Like that's what marriage, like romantic love, very watery, kind of stuff. Libra sun, oh, I love you. Romeo, Juliet, how does that fare? That kind of stuff. That's recent. Most people haven't been fucking on that level for a while. Like, or we've dipped into a yuga where it was like, hey, I've got a daughter and I need our kingdoms to be chill, so I'll give her to your son. That kind of thing. That's why I was talking about that. We're leaving those times, so fret not. This was not a love match, as it's saying. Although sealing alliances through marriage was a common practice, often those wives that were part of this kind of union were treated badly and looked down upon by the community. One day, as she walked through the gardens, Laotegi discovered a baby bat that was sick and wounded. She was a kind and gentle woman, and in her mercy looked after the little bat until it was well again. She then released it back into its colony. So she did a very watery thing, right? A very kind thing. This act didn't remain a secret. Scorpio Mercury. She didn't keep it hidden, although right, because guess what? As the royal court watched everything Laotegi did, they were observing. Scorpio and Mercury can be like very kind of spy. She was being spied upon. She thought she was alone doing this nice thing. It's like, nah, there's like some security guards watching you. The court laughed at her kindness and thought her weak and stupid, which made her an easy target when the king's fortunes declined. The royal court suggested that it was Laotiki who caused the king's problems. They decided to kill her by burning her on a pyre. The flames were lit and the flames rose to engulf Laotiki when suddenly the sky darkened. The baby bat and his family had forgotten the kindness of the princess and had come to help her. Thousands upon thousands of bats flew above the fire, urinating down on the flames to extinguish them. Very Queen of Cups, Eight of Water, urine even being used creatively. Gemini moon, haha, let's laugh at this, to extinguish the fire. And I won't go into major details, but when I was in Australia, I was able to witness thousands upon thousands of bats flying over me at once in a river of bats, and it was really one of the more interesting, this kind of bat, flying fruit bat, one of the more interesting moments of my life. So never forget that shit. So they extinguished the fire. Laotigi was saved, but her trials were not yet over. Frustrated, the Tongan kings exiled her to a very small island with nothing to eat. The island was completely barren, so the king and his court were sure that Laotigi would soon starve. These guys are total dicks. Again, the fruit bats assisted her. They brought her food, including fruits and seeds, and they kept her happy with their smiling company. Soon the island became one of fertility and plenty, as many of the bats made it their new home. Queen of Cups, fertility even. The kind princess was very happy, and she became a goddess of plenty and fertility and the patroness of protector of all bats. Humans and bats in harmony. Huzzah. Very Libra sun, right? And, they have cute little... they're flying. Like Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury flies with his winged shoes. Moon and Gemini is saying, these cute little bats are so cute and playful. Oh my gosh. I named all of them. and they feed me. Or whatever. The animal, the Samoan flying fox, is a protected animal in Tonga and Samoa because of this beautiful myth. So this story, Gemini Moon, has actually led to social justice. It's like protected now, Libra Sun, right? A mammal, and whether it's a true story or not, like people don't fuck up with the bats because of this story. A mammal, it is the largest flying fox in the Pacific with a wingspan of up to 1 meter. Unusually, this species does not form at large colonies but exists as monogamous pairs with children. Fruit bats, which are also known as flying foxes, play a key role in pollination and seed dispersal throughout their habitat. Rather than using sonar, they have keen eyesight and hearing, and they are also very intelligent. Very Mercury and Scorpio. It's like, ooh, I could see all in the dark, and I'm psychologically adept. Moon and Gemini as well. They suckle their young and are caring parents. Aww. The magic. Fruit bats are a vital part of the ecosystem, ensuring seeds are spread and fertility of the land is secured. The energy here is one of fertility and plentifulness. Invite flying fox energy into your workings when you wish to invoke more kindness or fertility. Very Queen of Cups, 8 of Water. Kindness coming from gratitude in the heart. Fertility, abundance coming when you're grateful for what you have and you're willing to go further into that dream, right? Symbologies of fruit bat, seeds, baby bats. Status of least concern but declining due to habitat loss. So it's problematic, but that's just the way this cookie crumbles, it seems, in the apocalypse days. Certain species are dying out. Hopefully we can lessen that extent to the degree that we make conscious and caring decisions, kind decisions, and our animal friends won't be depopulated inadvertently through our ignorance. Caravaggio. So, this is a rather violent and dark Scorpio Mercury / Mars day kind of card. By today's standards, Caravaggio would have medical diagnosis. A genius who was also belligerent and homicidal. Moon in Gemini is bipolar. Like, he was like, you're really smart and chill until you get mad. Oh my God, Mercury and Scorpio. Gemini moon, Libra sun. It's like, oh, you put on a nice face and then you go kill people in your private life. His frequent travels were due to law evasion, not wanderlust. Plague left him a young orphan. Immense talent won him high society's patronage. Like his life, his paintings are passionate and bloody contrasts. Light and dark, innocence and brutality with lots of severed heads, example David with the head of Goliath. While killing it professionally, Caravaggio literally killed a pimp. He then made his final masterpieces as a fugitive and died shortly after being jumped by vengeful assailants who busted his face and eyesight. Classic Caravaggio. He wasn't too kind to that pimp he beat up or killed. It said he killed a pimp. Yeah, he killed a guy and the karma came. So, the balance of the wheel, the sun in Libra, right? And he thought he could just up and go and fly away and start a new life, right? No, Gemini moon. It's like, you can't just create a new identity. And it's funny because it's saying bloody and passionate, right? Passion is this watery part of water, the Queen of Cups. If only he had been grateful and not trying to just wander all the time, not out of wanderlust, but out of like not having a home, essentially homesickness, right? He's like, I gotta go because I fucking did some illegal shit. Mercury and Scorpio. So, the advice we're getting from Caravaggio is adjust your eyes to darkness, right? We don't have to actually judge sensuality, right? Some people are more prudish and they're like, ew, cover your eyes or whatever. It's like, no, the female form, especially in this, but like male and female form and sensuality and sexuality and not drunkenness, but like the ability to have a buzz, the ability to feel ecstasy, that's all good. We should be grateful for that. Adjust your eyes to the darkness. There's times for that. And I think that's why the point of like feasts and celebrations and stuff, as opposed to like every day is a feast or Friday nights we get fucked up. It's like, yeah, make it every now and then. You'll really appreciate it when it happens and you won't live in that vibe, essentially. But that doesn't mean to deny your, in the Matrix it says to deny our human impulses is to deny what makes us human altogether, essentially. So it's like you have, genitals for a reason. You have cannabinoid receptors for a reason, right? Be grateful for these things. Embody these things fully, right? This is sensuality. 8 of water. Be kind to yourself and others with your, you don't just abuse your body and abuse your sexuality and abuse your, the parts of your mind and body that are the receptors for these chemicals, right? Be kind to yourself, but also be kind to yourself to allow yourself the feeling to enjoy life, because we've left unity to come into the diversity. We might feel a little homesick and try to, through sex, drugs, and rock and roll or meditation or any number of things, try to go back to source. And it's like, it's coming back here. We don't really have to do that. We could have like day trips, if you want to put it like that, and like go field trip it. But like, we have to be the source here, right? We have to adjust our eyes to the darkness. The darkness being the division from pure conscious unity or whatever to like whatever this 3D polarized thing is, right? And like, yeah, there's shitty politicians and there's war and there's ignorance and there's starvation and all these things, but there's also love and roller coasters and delicious sriracha and whatever things to celebrate. Adjust your eyes to darkness. With the moon in Gemini, we have the ability to actually see the dual nature of things emotionally clearly, and with the sun in Libra, very much both air signs with duality imbued in them, 2 sides of the scale, 2 sides of the twin, right? Janus faced. We have the ability to really adjust our eyes to the darkness and be grateful for the light and the dark. It's really a wonderful magical mystery. Toron, kids. Never fucking forget it. Even the most harrowing moments are desired by the universe to be expressed, understood, felt, processed. Like even the most, being stranded on an island and dying of starvation, that's inconvenient in a capitalistic kind of way or whatever. But at the same time, like that has to be experienced. And adjusting our eyes to that darkness, to that harsh reality, can be a real buzz killer, man. You're harshing my mellow, or harsh vibes, bro. But it's like you can always tap in with gratitude to the embodied sensuality and the pleasure of being, Don't just, try to fly away like a fox. Don't just try to run home, Forrest Gump, but kindly and engage your body and mind here and be considerate and grateful for yourself and others. That's how we adjust our eyes to the darkness, right? That's how we are the light in the darkness. Darkness isn't bad. It gives us a chance to actually contrast ourselves against it. And then and knowing that we're also the full darkness too. We all have Darth Vader in us. Don't think you don't. We all have Yoda in us. Don't think you don't. This is tourmaline quartz. It's today's crystal or rock or whatever it is. What it is, with both the negativity fighting power of black tourmaline, so fighting the darkness, and amplifying clarity of clear quartz, tourmaline quartz, and this is perfect. It's got two aspects to it. It's black and white. It's a yin-yang. Sun in Libra, moon in Gemini. It's a pretty yin-yang situation we've got right now. Tourmaline quartz, exactly what it sounds like, i.e. black tourmaline and clear quartz, might just be the best stone to bring along in that often discussed desert island scenario. And did I not just give the metaphor of the desert island? It's like if you go to a desert island and starve or die, it's all good. This is maybe a tool you would need on that situation. Who needs it? Anyone in need of a psycho-spiritual scrub. That would be the mind, right? Ajna day, like how do we reset into wisdom and not just knowledge? But with Mercury and Scorpio, we need that deep psychoanalysis. How do we deal with the trauma? How do we open our eyes and get all the colors and see all the shades, right? Shout out to Adam. He got me this shirt when I was in Portland. It says Portland Psychedelic Society. With, you can't really see it, but Metatron's cube and then this eyeball in the middle. Cool stuffs. And I'm wearing a Metatron's cube. So, I just totally spaced. Oh yeah, so the desert island, right? The Mercury in Scorpio is the deep psychological scrub. The moon in Gemini is like the ability to weigh ideas playfully and see many perspectives. And the sun in Libra is about balancing those perspectives. Just like the tourmaline quartz. This has darkness and light. It's two parts of the same stone kind of merging and unifying and balancing, finding harmony, sun in Libra. Who needs it? Anyone in need of a psycho-spiritual scrub. Where to put it? Wherever you intend to shine your brightest. When to use it? When it's time to shed a light on the vices, victims, and vampires in your life. That might even be what's happening in this card. It's like, are you dealing with energy vampires? Are you dealing with, like, are you a simp in today's cultural terms? Are you just sitting around, like, worshiping something and it's, like, super sensual and addicting and you're like, oh, I love this and I won't stop looking at it. It's like, are you being energy drained? When it's time to shed the light on the vices, that's the drunkenness, the sex, the debauchery, right? The sensuality in the negative polarized sense, the victims, and the vampires in your life. Once you have a clear view of the whereabouts, it's that much easier to kick them back into the gutter where they belong. Restore your perfect light. And it's funny, it's contrasting to restore your perfect light and kick things in the gutter while adjusting your eyes to the darkness, right? We are all one thing, let's not forget, but we've fallen into this fucking Gnostic myth or whatever's going on, and we are individual polarized parts of, fractalization and stuff. Even we're seeing fractalization and bifurcation in the art of background here on the card. So we have to bring kindness and compassion and gratitude into every situation. That's how to be a light in the darkness, right? Restore your perfect light. Sometimes that means this is where it gets tricky. Say you have a narcissistic family member or something. Be grateful for them. There's lessons there that you asked for. You're not a victim to it. The easy cop-out is to be like watery emotional stuff. Oh my gosh, this is happening to me and I've got to overcome this. And there's a level of truth to that, sure. Just like Laodice or whatever her name was like getting fucked by other people's like negativity and their belligerence, right? The darkness in their hearts and minds. But at some level, we have to say nothing's happening to me, even family members that are crazy, even situations of economic and political discord. None of that's happening to you. It's happening through you. So don't play the victim. When you rise above that duality, which is Gemini moon and Libra sun, dualism, when you come into a perfect balance of unity, just like the card of the yin yang, not the yin yang, the tourmaline quartz that looks like a yin yang, black and white stones, fused. When you come to that equanimity and you rise above the both, either or, and you get to a both and, that kind of holistic view, you beat it. I mean, that's how Neo wins. He doesn't give up. If we sit around and say, I'm a victim, oh my gosh, this happened and stuff, it's like, you asked for this. Every moment, and that puts a lot of responsibility on us, and then people don't feel like good about that because for whatever reason we want to like suck our thumbs and say it's happening to us or whatever. So whether it's addicts in your family or narcissists or a shitty boss or someone who always gets into your skin, it's like be grateful, 8 of water, be grateful for that situation because there's a way to actually alchemize and process through it with what? Empathy. They are you in another form, right? Kindness. It's an opportunity to learn gratitude and kindness, quite frankly, to adjust your eyes to that dark and see it as contrastive to you and that you aren't it exactly, but then to restore and protect your light in order, to restore and protect your light, as Tourmaline Quartz is saying, in order to basically come back home. The home that we all are one, right? The homesickness and the divisions and the strife and the trip that is, it isn't exactly that always. So just know that. Let's go ahead and play some music. So I've actually done a good thing and mostly set up. Sometimes it takes me a minute to just get ready, but here, we're good. Yeet. And then turn on some sings. And I'm not saying like narcissists are good, but they're necessary or else they wouldn't exist. Just as much as heroes are good, villains are needed and heroes are needed in a duality. It takes all kinds, right? So you can't just be like, fuck them, I'm good. It's like that's playing into it at a totally different level. And that can lead to really, we got to be practicing that 8 of water, the gratitude. The gratitude for all the creatures, the armadillos, the crocodiles, as well as the flamingos and peacocks, as well as the koala bears, as well as the black bears. Apparently there were some black bears outside my house the other day. I was giving a reading, so I didn't hear it. Or see them, rather. I'm going to put my glasses on. I just realized I can't see shit. Can't see the dials. Alright, there we go. You got the idea. So, super sensual, sexy, dare I say, and grateful with the aid of water, right? So we have the ability to create the world. Like we create the world we inhabit with our perceptions. So we have to, with the moon and Gemini and Libra Sun, be very balanced in our fantasy and real life. Don't be afraid of sensuality. This is kind of this chick who's like, hey, baby, but like at the same time, it's like, don't just drink the whole bottle because she offers it to you, right? We have the ability to tap into gratitude, which will actually, when we're grateful for things, it'll make it so we don't go overboard in the sensuality. Like we'll be grateful for sobriety, we'll be grateful for the both and, that tourmaline quartz, the dark and the light, right? We won't feel homesick and do things out of desperation for unity, which already exists in a distorted kind of way. So don't, just be kind to yourself. Don't be beating yourself up all the time about not being there. You're in process. You chose to be in a system of process, right? And adjust your eyes to the darkness, as Caravaggio is saying. Make sure you're not just seduced. Make sure you're not just kind of addicted. Make sure you're grateful. Gratitude will break addictions. When you're grateful for sobriety, makes the highs better, makes the sober moments psychedelic, right? Show kindness to yourself and others. Adjust your eyes to the dark if you can. The darkness being, we're not home. We're separate from source unity in a way, but it's still within us. It's a paradox. Don't try to get your head around it. You won't. Get your heart there. You'll know it there. Restore your perfect light. Go home by being home now in the non-home, if that makes any sense. No podcast today. Hit me up for readings. I love giving them. And hopefully you guys enjoy your Tuesday. Remember, this is a dream you've embarked on. It's not happening to you, it's happening through you, and that might actually give you a sense of gratitude and purpose in an art. Like, think of yourself as an artist within an artwork, and it'll actually trigger you into possibly excavating deeper and deeper, Mercury and Scorpio, into your mind, Gemini Moon, and into your relationship with other, Libra Sun, for practical, healthy, beautiful reasons, Venus in Virgo. So hopefully you have a good day, guys. Adios.